Urgent health alert for seniors. One popular nut could be silently poisoning you. It might come as a shock, but regularly eating the wrong kinds of nuts could increase your risk of cardiovascular disease by up to 48%, especially if you're over 65. That's not just a scary statistic. It's backed by years of research published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology. Here's the terrifying part. Some of the most commonly eaten nuts, probably sitting in your kitchen right now, can quietly raise blood pressure, trigger chronic inflammation, clog arteries, and even speed up cognitive decline. And yet, many older adults eat them daily thinking they're making a healthy choice. One particular nut, we'll reveal it later in the video, has been linked to dangerously high levels of a toxic compound. When eaten often, it can damage your liver, kidneys, and brain function, and it's one of the darlings of low-carb diets. Sound familiar? But don't panic, we've got you covered. In this video, we're revealing the ultimate guide to safe nut consumption for seniors. You'll discover which nuts truly support heart health, protect brain function, and promote longevity, and which ones to avoid at all costs. Stick around to the end because the truth about the most dangerous nut is almost never discussed, and it could be silently sabotaging your health. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tell us where you're watching from in the comments. Let's protect your health, one smart snack at a time. Number 4. Almonds, the bone and brain-boosting snack. Almonds aren't just delicious, they're powerful allies for aging well. They're packed with calcium and vitamin E, making them great for strong bones and sharp minds. After age 65, bones weaken faster, but just a quarter cup of almonds gives you about 97 milligrams of calcium, helping to slow bone loss. Almonds also provide magnesium, which is important because it helps send calcium to your bones instead of letting it clog your arteries. They're also heart healthy. Almonds' good fats help lower bad LDL cholesterol, and their 3.5 g of fiber per serving supports digestion, important since nearly 40% of seniors struggle with constipation. For your brain, almonds shine too. Research from Tufts University shows they may protect brain cells from oxidative stress, a major cause of memory decline. Pro tip: eat almonds with the skin on. The skins have flavonoids that boost the antioxidant power of vitamin E. Senior safety tip: if chewing is hard, try slivered almonds or almond butter to avoid choking. Stay tuned. Walnuts are up next, and their brain-boosting power is incredible. 3. Walnuts, the brain-boosting nut every senior should consider. Don't let their humble appearance fool you. Walnuts are a cognitive powerhouse, especially for older adults. In fact, their shape mimics the organ they benefit most, the brain. Among all nuts, walnuts provide the highest amount of plant-based omega-3 fatty acids, particularly alpha-linolenic acid, ALA. This essential fat plays a major role in maintaining the structure and function of brain cell membranes and enhancing communication between brain cells. For seniors, this means better memory retention, quicker thinking, and stronger mental clarity. A study in the Journal of Nutrition found that adults over 60 who consumed just 1.5 ounces of walnuts daily showed measurable improvements in processing speed and mental agility within just 8 weeks. What gives walnuts their extra edge? Polyphenolic compounds, potent antioxidants capable of crossing the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, they help fight inflammation and oxidative stress in brain tissue, both of which are linked to neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. Walnuts are also one of the few nuts that contain natural melatonin, the hormone that regulates sleep. Because melatonin levels drop with age, incorporating a small handful of walnuts in the evening may promote better sleep without the need for supplements. Cardiovascular health is another area where walnuts shine. Thanks to their arginine content, an amino acid that improves blood vessel flexibility, and their inflammation-fighting antioxidants, walnuts support healthy blood pressure and improve circulation, 2 critical factors for seniors. Serving tip: aim for 7 to 9 walnut halves per day. For added benefit, try buying them in the shell and cracking them yourself. This can help maintain fine motor skills and keep your hands engaged. Storage tip: store walnuts in the fridge to keep their oils fresh and prevent them from going rancid. Up next, the number 2 nut that builds stronger bones, supports smoother digestion, and fights oxidative brain stress, all in one daily handful. 2. Pistachios, the unsung hero for blood pressure and vision support. Often underestimated, pistachios are one of the most senior-friendly nuts out there, especially when it comes to controlling blood pressure and protecting vision. What sets pistachios apart is their ideal balance of low sodium and high potassium. With about 285 milligrams of potassium per serving, pistachios help your kidneys flush out excess sodium, directly supporting blood pressure regulation. Research shows that incorporating pistachios into your diet can lower systolic blood pressure by 3 to 5 points, comparable to some medications, but without the unwanted side effects. Pistachios also offer powerful protection for your eyes. They're rich in 2 carotenoids, lutein and zeaxanthin, that concentrate in the retina's macula. These compounds help defend against age-related macular degeneration, the leading cause of vision loss in adults over 60. There's a practical benefit, too. Pistachios are softer than many other nuts, making them easier on aging teeth and gentler for those with dental sensitivity or gum issues. Even their color tells a story. The green and purple pigments signal potent antioxidants that help neutralize harmful free radicals and slow down cellular aging across the body. And here's a surprising bonus. Pistachios may help you manage your portions without even trying. The process of shelling each nut naturally slows eating and increases mindfulness during snacking. A study in the International Journal of Obesity found that simply seeing the empty shells helped participants better regulate their intake, a valuable visual cue for seniors aiming to maintain a healthy weight. If dexterity is a challenge due to arthritis or joint stiffness, go for half-open pistachios. They're much easier to crack while still providing the same great benefits. Recommended serving. Aim for about 49 pistachios per day, roughly 1 ounce. Choose unsalted or lightly salted varieties to keep sodium levels in check. Coming up next, the number 1 nut every senior should know about, an all-around champion for heart, brain, and bone health. 1. Brazil nuts, a tiny nut with massive benefits for thyroid and brain health. If you're over 65 and not eating Brazil nuts, you could be missing out on one of the most powerful anti-aging foods on earth. Brazil nuts top our list thanks to their unrivaled selenium content. Just 1 nut delivers about 96 micrograms, or 137% of your daily requirement. Selenium is absolutely essential for thyroid function, yet many seniors suffer from undiagnosed thyroid disorders, mistaking the symptoms, fatigue, brain fog, low mood for normal aging. But make no mistake, poor thyroid health can quietly sabotage your metabolism, energy, and emotional balance. What's more, the selenium in Brazil nuts isn't synthetic, it's organically bound, meaning your body can absorb and use it much more effectively than from pills. These nuts also play a surprising role in nerve health. As we age, the myelin sheath, the protective layer around nerve cells, begins to break down, affecting coordination, reaction time, and mental sharpness. Brazil nuts contain healthy fats that help maintain this sheath, supporting quicker reflexes and better brain function. Brazil nuts are also a secret weapon for digestive health. Their natural oils and fiber content help regulate digestion, which is especially helpful if constipation is a regular challenge. But here's the most exciting part. Emerging research suggests that the antioxidants in Brazil nuts may slow down the shortening of telomeres, the protective tips on your DNA strands that shrink with age. Slower telomere shortening equals slower cellular aging. Even better, Brazil nuts taste indulgent. Their rich, creamy, slightly sweet flavor makes them a satisfying alternative to sugary snacks, without the blood sugar spike. Important note, Brazil nuts are powerful, too powerful if overconsumed. Stick to just 1 or 2 per day. More than that, and you risk selenium overload, which can have harmful effects. Storage tip, buy them in the shell if possible, and refrigerate to preserve their oils and nutrients. If you're looking for one small change that can have a major impact on your health, this is it. Brazil nuts aren't just a snack. They're a daily dose of age-defying, thyroid-boosting, brain-protecting nutrition. For nuts you should avoid, especially if you're over 65. For peanuts, the nut that could secretly sabotage senior health. They may be a household favorite, but if you're over 65, peanuts might be doing more harm than good. Despite their name, peanuts aren't true nuts, they're legumes. And that distinction matters when it comes to your health. Because they grow underground, peanuts are especially vulnerable to mold contamination, which often leads to the production of aflatoxin, toxic compounds scientifically linked to liver damage and an increased risk of cancer. And as we age, our body's detox systems weaken, making it harder to process these hidden threats. But the risks don't stop there. Peanuts contain inflammatory proteins that can quietly aggravate joint pain, heart issues, and even cognitive decline, common concerns for older adults. Even if you don't have a peanut allergy, these proteins may be stoking chronic inflammation in your body without you realizing it. What's worse, peanuts are loaded with omega-6 fatty acids, which are already overconsumed in most Western diets. Too much omega-6, especially without enough omega-3 to balance it out, creates the perfect storm for persistent inflammation and accelerated aging. And here's a lesser-known danger. Peanuts can interfere with common medications like blood thinners. That's due to their vitamin K content, which may reduce the effectiveness of drugs like warfarin, increasing the risk of dangerous clotting or bleeding events. Even the way peanuts are commonly eaten is problematic. Many peanut butters are loaded with hydrogenated oils, excess salt, and added sugar, a combination that's especially harmful to seniors managing high blood pressure, heart disease, or diabetes. Even natural versions may subtly elevate blood pressure over time. And if they're not stored properly, peanuts spoil quickly, turning rancid and releasing free radicals that can damage cells and accelerate aging from the inside out. Bottom line, if you're over 65, peanuts are one snack that may not be worth the risk. There are far healthier options that offer better support for your heart, brain, and overall longevity. 3. Cashews, the healthy nut that could be secretly sabotaging your metabolism. Cashews might look harmless and taste creamy, but for older adults, they come with a cocktail of hidden dangers. Let's start with something most people don't know. Cashews are unusually high in carbohydrates, about 9 grams per ounce, unlike most other nuts. That's a serious red flag for the 25% of seniors living with diabetes and the nearly 48% who are pre-diabetic. Their higher glycemic impact means they can spike your blood sugar quickly, undermining your efforts to manage glucose levels. Even worse, cashews offer very little fiber compared to other nuts, which makes them less effective at slowing sugar absorption. Many seniors eat them in large handfuls, thinking they're a heart-healthy snack, when in reality they might be silently damaging their metabolic health. There's also a choking hazard few talk about. Cashews' smooth, curved shape makes them one of the most commonly aspirated nuts in seniors, especially those with swallowing difficulties or compromised dental health. Nutritionally speaking, cashews are high in oxalates, naturally occurring compounds that bind to calcium in your gut, preventing its absorption. That's a major issue if you're over 65 and trying to maintain bone density. Worse yet, if you've ever had kidney stones, oxalates can make the problem worse, increasing your risk for painful recurrence. But perhaps the most surprising danger? Cashews naturally contain urushiol, the same toxin found in poison ivy. While it's removed during processing, this requires high heat treatment and chemical exposure, and traces can still linger in lower quality cashews, especially those not properly roasted. And here's a final concern. Commercial dry roasting generates acrylamide, a chemical linked to cognitive decline. That's especially worrying for seniors battling memory loss or trying to reduce dementia risk. Even if you've eaten cashews for years without problems, cutting back just 3 days a week and swapping them for brain and heart-friendly alternatives can reduce your exposure to these harmful compounds and give your body a better shot at long-term vitality. 2. Macadamia nuts, the nut that might be pushing your metabolism over the edge. As we age, weight management becomes harder and macadamia nuts could be making the struggle worse. These nuts are packed with fat, about 22 grams per ounce, which is especially problematic when your metabolism naturally slows with age. The high fat content can place additional stress on your gallbladder, which already becomes less efficient as we get older. For the 15% of seniors who have undiagnosed gallstones, macadamia nuts could trigger painful flare-ups that would otherwise remain hidden. Not only that, but macadamias contain around 3 grams of saturated fat per ounce, one of the highest among all nuts. Saturated fat raises LDL cholesterol levels, a major concern for anyone over 65 who's trying to maintain heart health. Beyond their impact on heart health, the hard texture of macadamias poses another danger. These nuts can damage crowns, dental bridges, or brittle teeth, common issues for seniors as enamel weakens and calcium absorption decreases with age. Cost is another consideration. Macadamia nuts are expensive, which could lead budget-conscious seniors to choose cheaper nuts that are poorly stored or even rancid. This exposes you to harmful oxidized fats, further damaging your health. Most store-bought macadamias are oil-roasted and heavily salted, both of which add unhealthy fats and sodium that place a significant strain on the heart and kidneys, especially if you already suffer from high blood pressure or kidney issues. They're rich, buttery flavor makes them easy to overeat, contributing to unintentional weight gain, which can be especially difficult for seniors already struggling with weight management. If macadamias are a go-to snack, consider switching to walnuts or almonds. These options offer a much better nutrient profile and are safer for aging bodies. 1. Pine nuts, a hidden danger for seniors. Often seen in pesto or gourmet dishes, pine nuts can be surprisingly dangerous for seniors. These nuts contain compounds that interfere with a wide range of common medications, including statins, antidepressants, and blood pressure drugs, all of which are frequently used by those over the age of 65. Alarmingly, this interaction risk is rarely discussed by doctors or pharmacists, even though it can lead to reduced drug effectiveness or dangerous side effects. One of the most unsettling side effects is a condition called pine nut syndrome, which causes a bitter, metallic taste in the mouth that can persist for weeks. This might sound minor, but it can drastically reduce appetite in older adults, contributing to malnutrition and weight loss. In fact, up to 42% of affected seniors experience noticeable weight reduction, likely due to age-related changes in taste and detoxification processes. Pine nuts also contain high levels of polyunsaturated fats, which are prone to oxidation, promoting inflammation. This is a significant concern for those with arthritis or other inflammatory conditions. Additionally, their small size and slippery texture make them easy to inhale, posing a choking hazard, particularly for seniors with dry mouth or swallowing difficulties, common side effects of many prescription medications. Worse still, new research links certain compounds in pine nuts to age-related macular degeneration, a leading cause of vision loss in the elderly. Final takeaway: the nuts you choose after the age of 65 can significantly impact your health, energy, and brain function. While many nuts offer tremendous benefits, others, like peanuts, cashews, macadamia, and pine nuts, can worsen inflammation, disrupt medications, or undermine metabolic health. The good news? Small changes add up. Simply substituting harmful nuts with better alternatives like pistachios, almonds, or Brazil nuts can lead to real improvements in energy, digestion, mood, and weight. So now it's your turn. Have you noticed any changes in your health after adding or removing specific nuts from your diet? Which nut has had the biggest impact on your well-being? Share your stories and thoughts in the comments. We value your experiences, and your journey could inspire others to make better choices. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.